Now we're back with Judge Albert T. Blandford. He's a past commander of the United States Post Power Squadron here in Ventura. Right, Ventura Power Squadron. It's a mouthful. Could we pick up where we left off on the advanced courses, sir?
Yes, I was talking about the junior navigation course, which is offered to the members of the squadrons. It's the basic course in learning to use the sextant, which I think I was describing as the instrument.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
Measures the angle between the heavenly bodies and the horizon, and then based on that information and the time involved and a number of other things, you can determine your position out on the ocean. After junior navigation, there's the last advanced courses, navigation, and here you go into a lot of the theory of navigation and so forth. And a person who has completed those courses, at least as far as education is concerned, has the knowledge to navigate a boat anywhere in the world. Of course, experience can be important too, as well as knowledge. Also, in addition to the advanced grade courses, we teach what they call elective courses. For example, we have a course in sailing. By the way, the Power Squadron is not limited to power boats. About half our members sailboats and half are power boaters. But in addition to the sailing course, we also have engine maintenance, where we learn a little bit about engine maintenance. We're not marine mechanics when we finish the course, but we have a much better idea of a marine engine than we did before. We also have another course in marine electronics, again, where we learn a little bit about radar and sonar and the other.
How to keep the equipment up and.
Basically, again, we're not technicians, so we can't make major repairs.
No, I mean, like, it should be run every week
you have an idea
things
of
of that
how to
sort.
maintain them properly, and when you do need help in getting them repaired and so forth. We also have a course in weather, which is a very interesting course, because obviously having a little knowledge and being able to look up at the sky and have some idea as to what the future foretells with regard to weather can be very important for a sailor. The last elective course we have is called Instructor Qualifications, and that's to teach us to be teachers, so that we can, once we've learned the information, these courses, we can turn around and help educate others in the process. We have one other course that is offered, which is a very interesting course. It has been offered too often, but it's called the Skipper Saver Program. And this is a program which can be given not just to members of the squadron, but to private organizations, yacht clubs, or anyone else who might be interested. And it's designed for the spouse who does not really operate the boat, to learn enough about it to take care of a situation if the skipper should be injured or.
Of course, in some cases, as you do know, the woman or the lady might own the boat and have her husband take a skipper saver course.
That's right. It goes both ways. Of course, ideally, both persons, both the husband and wife, should know how to run the boat and
go through the classes together.
Right. But this course is designed for the spouse who is not really interested, the non-operator spouse, to know enough about the whole process, to at least know how to turn on the radio and call the Coast Guard, for example.
Does she have to be a member of the Power Squadron, or just her spouse?
This particular course can be arranged to be given to any group that might be interested in
right. I think here locally at the Pacific Corinthian Yacht Club classes, that organization that gave them, they were saying that they were going to add that to their beginners class, that it's available and it's a real.
Yes, it is available, and any group that might be interested in such a program, we can arrange to present that program for them. The public boating course, of course, is the really important thing in my mind, because we're attempting to reach out to the general boating public and get as many people as possible involved, so that we can promote boating safety.
And get them on the road to education.
That's
get them
correct.
familiar with what it's about and everything.
That's correct. You have to remember, and I'm sure you're well aware, Mark, that ocean is a big place out there, and it can be very nice on a beautiful afternoon like this, but at other times it can be very treacherous out there.
Right. One bad experience I found usually turns people off to boating if they didn't lose their life,
That's right.
So it's nice to have the knowledge to prevent a bad experience, or to make it survivable and say, well, we were prepared and no one got hurt or injured or died. Therefore, we'll stay in boating. That's very important. One thing I did want to ask, is that in the future, do you know if you have any plans of perhaps using modern technology, videotaping the classes, due to the fact that you and I believe, both know that the smart person would come and get all the classes for 3 years before they bought the boat. But usually they buy the boat, then they say, I want to be safe, I'm going to go get the classes. At, you know, one class a week, it takes about 3 years to get a good background on you,
right.
and every weekend they're out at the islands getting into trouble. So do you see a possibility of that in the future?
I see that could be, I would imagine that would be a possibility in the future. In our particular classes, of course, we attempt to get participation among the students back and forth between the instructor and the students, but I can see that videotapes of boating safety at this type of program would be very beneficial. And if somebody couldn't attend the boating course, I would certainly recommend, if there were such a thing available, that they look at it, yes.
Well, we do plan on putting all 25 of our shows with all the safety tips and everything on VHS and beta tapes, offering it to the public and through educational sources. But we don't look at that as being as informative as the academics, you know,
yeah.
of boating, which is more or less what you handle. We're
right.
handling the practical side and
right.
well-rounded view. I did talk to Mr. Hal Wilder, you know, and ask him that question, and he mentioned that some of the Power Squadron branches are so small that they don't have a VHS, or it might be a financial burden, you know, for them to come up with that to play the tapes. But I do believe that there's enough members and what have you, or even if you have to rent it from the VHS, you know, movie store,
mm-hmm.
that this, you know, would come about. I would hope so. Right now, it's time to go back on to our next thing. We have Sea Tales coming up next, true stories that may save your life. We'll be back right after this.